my goodness. Why? Why Jussie Smollett? Why? That and other stories you might have missed this week on The Mashup. And welcome to the show, The Mashup, where I run down all the trending entertainment news that you might have missed for the week. It was reported this week that Chris Hemsworth is supposed to play Hulk Hogan in a new biopic. Now, I think this is probably a really good pick. I mean, I have to kind of see how he is. I'm picturing Thor with kind of a balding mullet with, I don't know what kind of mustache that's called, but I'm trying to picture him as Hulk Hogan, and I can see it. He definitely can get bulked up for it, and I guess he's going to have to get super tan, so I guess he's going to do a lot of surfing. You know, when I was reading about this, the main thing I was concerned about if this was going to be a biopic based off his whole life, or, you know, everything scandal, you know, maybe up to Hogan Knows Best time period maybe, but it says it's just going to focus on the part where, you know, his beginnings, when he starts doing amateur wrestling, and then WWF, and then, you know, WCW, back when, you know, Hulkamania was just coming to be popular. And I don't know about y'all, but I loved Hulk Hogan as a kid. I used to have a sleeping bag, and growing up, I used to always think that and wish that he could be my dad. You know, I thought he was a really cool guy and really cool figure to look up to. As I've gotten older and he's done some really stupid things, now I know that's probably not the case, but back in the day, at least, you know, he was somewhat of a role model for others. But let me know in the comments below what you think about Chris Hemsworth, you know, portraying him in a new movie. I don't know. I'm trying to think of any other actors out there that could do that. I don't think there's really any. I don't know. Hogan's kind of an interesting character to play, I think, first off, but I don't know. I'm trying to think, and I think that's a pretty good pick. I don't know of anybody. I'm sure there's maybe some actors out there that were, you know, maybe not as well known that maybe could pull it off, but I think they're going to do a good job with Chris Hemsworth, so we'll just have to wait and see. It was reported this week that Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart have been inducted into the Guinness Book of World Records as being the longest running actors to portray Marvel characters. Now, I think this is pretty cool. So for all that may not have heard, they have got the award for obviously portraying Wolverine and Professor X in the X-Men series for almost 17 years. The original X-Men movie came out in 2000, and they've kept portraying them all the way through the other movies. So you have X-Men 1, 2, and 3. You have the younger generation with First Class, and you also have like Days of Future Past, and then you also have, you know, Logan. But, you know, throughout the whole thing, they've been the characters. They've been playing them, and I think that's great. I mean, I didn't realize it'd been 17 years. That's a long time. You know, I was trying to think when the Avengers movie started, like with Iron Man, but I guess that really wasn't until, you know, later on, like 2008, maybe 2009, maybe not even that old. But, you know, so I guess we're kind of getting there, you know, almost the decade point. So I guess if maybe after Avengers Endgame, maybe Captain America does live. Maybe Chris Evans still keeps playing Captain America. Maybe Robert Downey Jr. still is Iron Man. Who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see for that. But it's great that, you know, I love Hugh Jackman. I think Patrick Stewart's also a really cool guy. So I'm glad to see that, you know, even though they may not get to play the characters anymore, that they're getting some type of, you know, further appreciation for what they've, you know, accomplished and achieved, and, you know, given to the characters that they portrayed. Now, all disclosure, I wish we could see Hugh Jackman continue to play Wolverine. I know he's not comic book accurate for the character, but I like his portrayal of Wolverine, and I think that's, you know, I'm really interested to see who they get to replace him. I think that's going to be something really hard to do. And I don't know if I'm sure there's whatever actor they'll get. I'm sure, I say that now, I'm sure I'll be fine with whoever they get, but, you know, I'm 17 years worth of seeing Hugh Jackman. I'm like, who else are you going to get? You know, it's kind of like Henry Cavill and Superman. Like, you know, we had Christopher Reeves, you know, we've had all kinds of people, but I see him as Superman. So I know he may not be Superman any longer. So who are we going to get to play Superman? You know, that's another topic for another day, but let me know in the comments below what you think. Are you happy for Hugh Jackman and Patrick Stewart getting inducted to the Guinness Book of World Records? And would you like to see Hugh Jackman keep playing Wolverine? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, the story y'all have been waiting for. trying to figure out why Jussie Smollett lied to everybody. So if you're not aware, Jussie Smollett plays a character on the Fox show Empire, and while he was in Chicago, he supposedly said that he was jumped by two white men who were, throwing homophobic and racial slurs at him and were threatening to put him in a noose and hang him. And then come to find out through holes in his story that he was lying. And that has caused, all kinds of talk now. And I just, the question on my mind is why would you do this? And, the truth is that he actually paid two Nigerian guys that he knows to actually be the ones that, supposedly jump him, help him go along with the charade. And he did the false police report. And in my mind, I just don't understand why someone would do that kind of thing. And supposedly the reasoning is because he was not happy with his salary, or he wasn't happy with his place on the show Empire that he's on. And I guess he thought that this would be a good way to heighten his status on the show, get him more screen time, get him more money in his pocket, get him more fan base. I'm not going to lie. I do see somewhat the thought process here. I think if it was a legitimate thing that had happened, I think, the LGBTQ community would have been behind him. Of course, African-American community, I think others would have been behind him. And through that support, maybe he would have gotten other opportunities that he wouldn't have gotten beforehand. Do I think he would have gotten a raise on Empire for it? Probably not. But it's just a sucky position now that he's put people in, because you have the LGBTQ community and other people that have been supporting him. And now they just, what are they to do? They just, now they don't. And now that they have gone through this whole process of, saying stuff on Twitter and to the news sources about how they're going to, we're in support of him and, we stand by him. And now they look like they got egg on their face. It's just not in this day and age where we're constantly being berated with news about racial tensions and homophobic tensions and all this kind of stuff. It's just, why would you do that? I know Donald Trump had to give his 2 cents like he does with everything else. And that just, to anybody out there who thinks that this is a good way to get yourself ahead in life, think again. Because not only is he not going to get a raise, he got suspended from the show as of Friday. So he's not going to get any kind of money. And he could be facing jail time. And I know the Chicago Police Department is super unhappy with him and not happy at all about how he pretty much just, I know Chicago has crime and it has problems, but this was just one more thing that he added to that plate that didn't need to be there and, put more stigma on that city. So, I would be mad at him as well. I don't understand, and they're saying someone who thinks this way isn't sane. Probably true. And I hope this doesn't turn out to be where he pleads insanity and gets off scot-free. I think he needs to legitimately get punished for making a false claim, just like any other claim that's out there that'd be false, because it totally takes away from someone who legitimately gets jumped and all that kind of stuff and needs the justice system out there to protect them. So I do hope that he, gets some type of punishment for what he's done, but I just can't believe that, in the end, he did all this for what he thought was for something, but it's basically nothing. If you're not going to get a raise at your job, it's probably because you don't deserve to get a raise at your job. He's on the main cast, but just because he's not maybe one of the main characters to get a story arc all the time, that doesn't mean you get to pull something like this and then think you're going to be able to get more screen time. That's not how that works. Just like if Taraji P. Henson or Terrence Howard or any of them did something not even of that nature, but if they had just said something bad, I think Taraji P. Henson's been having some issues with the R. Kelly stuff. Any one of them could say something or just do something that could cause them to be suspended from the show. So, he just took it to an extreme, and I'm baffled and, just kind of dumbfounded as to why he thought that this was such a good idea. Let me know in the comments below what you think. I would hope that there's nobody out there that's like, yeah, we support Jussie and as far as what he did. I feel sorry for his parents and his family. I know they have to stick by him, but even Terrence Howard has come out recently and has supported him too. And I just don't know what you're supporting. I know I'm asking myself, okay, let's say it was my brother, and my brother did something like that. I would obviously love my brother, and I wouldn't like disown him or anything, but do I support him in the fact of saying I condone what he did? No. So I don't really know. When you say that you're standing up with him and supporting him, what are you supporting? Are you saying sorry for what he did, but I'm going to still stand by him in this punishment that he's about to receive? Is that what you're saying? I don't know. But let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are about this whole Jussie Smollett thing. I think we're kind of at the tail end of it, and I think it's going to kind of die down at least till he gets more court appearances and stuff like that and sentencing. But, oh man, find other ways to make more money if that's what you want to do. Get another job, do something else. Go be a part of a movie. Something. Don't make false allegations that you got jumped. And that's it for this week's Entertainment News Mashup. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, notification bell so you don't miss any new videos, and I'll see you at the next mashup.